So I had to do. I was going to put this all in a video editor thing, but my Microsoft Clipchamp crashed on me about a million times. So I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, and it ain't having nothing of it. So I'll just put it in 4 parts. I think it is 5 parts, something like that. So yeah, well, I didn't finish saying off about the Green Children, because in Woolpit in Suffolk, when these children turned up, so basically what that would have been, and because I saw pastel green children, I'll explain that after. Bizarrely, way before I found out that was even a thing. So the green children in Woolpit in Suffolk or Surrey, innit? I think Woolpit. Anyway, they heard a church bell ringing wherever they were, and they followed the sound of the church bell because they didn't know it, and then they ended up in a field in Surrey, wherever Woolpit is, and the locals found them that were out in the fields doing stuff in the fields, found these green kids and took them in. Anyway, the children grew up. And they said they come from St Martin's Land. I did say yesterday the land of Prester John, but it was St Martin's Land. The land of Prester John is separate though. I did make that up in my head yesterday, like I said. But anyway, so the children might have said they might have come from a place called St Martin's Land, which is unlikely considering saints and that, it's all bullshit. So they probably said that because when they turned up in Suffolk, let me turn that down. When they turned up in Suffolk, after a year or two, when they learnt the language and they could communicate and say where they were from, they probably thought, shit, we better say something that they know. So, well, we say St Martin's Land. That'll do. They didn't want to appear to have come from another realm entirely, and they probably knew that by the time they got there. But the other thing is, they would also, when they turned up here, they would have walked through a portal accidentally. Maybe they accidentally opened a portal somehow, or maybe it was a natural one and they walked through that and ended up here. Or most likely the Greys probably just went over there, grabbed a couple of kids from St Martin's Land or whatever it's actually called, and just brought them back here. Thought, fuck it, see how they get on over here. Look, that'll be something for the English to think about in the future and the rest of the world. How on earth did 2 green children turn up? Isn't Martians green? You know, it's all these things that you can think spun off of the little bit of truth. You know what I mean? Like how they say little green men from Mars. Well, they were blue, I think Christian said, but it don't matter. Irrelevant. It just all adds to the confusion later on, as well as just to see how they get on. You know, there's always more than one negative outcome that is planned when they do anything. Where there's no way they don't take a chess move that only has one outcome. They need several outcomes from each step. And you can see that that's probably what that was. They probably just grabbed the children. Most likely, they didn't open a natural portal or nothing like that. Could have been 4th density children from a realm. Probably wasn't called St Martin's Land. But, yeah, the ones that I saw, that was mad. I came in, when I left my body on that ketamine hydrochloride, like I say, you can't OD on it. It's not possible to die on it. I didn't know that then, and I thought I died. So I left my body at an incredible speed that way. And then I hit this room, like a massive, imagine a big sports hall that's totally green with green mist everywhere, but it's a room, you know, it ain't outside. And I could see these beings, green skinned beings walking along, and they looked like they were disappearing. And then I worked out they were walking behind screens, and that's why I thought they were disappearing. And this only lasted a few seconds, and I was watching them, and then I looked to my left and I was like, fuck, there was like a load of adolescents, maybe teenagers, 14, 16 years old maybe, and they had green hair and laurels, wearing like laurel things on their head, and they were like it's almost like a sauna scenario. The whole room seemed like green mist everywhere, and these little group were 5 adolescents, like they were busy in the corner, but they all looked at me because they saw me, and I was freaked out because I thought I was dead, not in a body. I thought I was well dead, and they all looked at me, and I'm like, fucking hell, and they went like that with their robes to sort of pull their robes up so that, you know, when you get caught in the shower like that. But there was just mist, and I could see them, and I'm like, what the fuck? And the next thing, I was in space for a bit, assuming to be met by my nan or something, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, my girlfriend Ebony and my parents are going to be so gutted. I was sure I was dead, and then I was thinking, well, actually, if this is dead, this ain't that bad, and that's when I stopped being scared of death, and that was in 1994. Totally didn't, not even worried about it. I just thought you got to choose your next life. I didn't realise you didn't have a fucking say in the matter. So yeah, but yeah, interesting though that there are them beings out there. So that was probably, like, it wasn't a hallucination, let's put it that way. And now I know. I was doing a drug course at the Maudsley Regional Drug Training Unit in London, and I came across the work of Dr. Carl Jensen, who was also doing a big study at the Maudsley Regional Hospital. He specialises in ketamine, hydrochloride, PCP, phencyclidine and disoactive anaesthetics to work out what is happening to people when their soul is taken out of their body. So it's a known thing. And when you do a lot of ketamine, they like it for children's operations and eye operations because it doesn't stop your aspiration. Your body carries on breathing as normally. It's not like an opioid-based painkiller where they can operate on you, but your heart might stop because it's slowed down too much. It don't do that. So it's a very safe thing to do. Yeah, but it's up to. I wouldn't say I don't recommend it or not. I would do it again. It's one of the only things like a drug like that, apart from cannabis, that I would do again because it's profound. If you do a lot of it quickly, wow, fucking hell, you are definitely leaving your body. You ain't got a say in the matter. You're gone. You're kicked out. It's very unusual. But yeah, and like what's his face? Jacob Rothschild. I want a nation of workers. Is it Jacob? No, it weren't. It was Nathan, I think. Nathan Rothschild. I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. You got to start thinking about all these unrelated things that you've come across. I mean, you go on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, and everything I go through is all this craziness, But it's just complete sense. But even so, a lot of people are still seeing it as all totally isolated. It's like the frog in the pot thing. They haven't noticed how odd it's got so quickly. A lot of people are like, well, maybe it's gotten a little bit odd. But they're like 4 years late with that thought process. They should have been having that thought process like 4 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot's happened in that time. And a lot's going to happen. A lot more's going to happen in a lot shorter space of time as well. So I'll put that BondLink calculator on there as well for your... So on the BondLink calculator, you need your birth certificate. And you need the last 5 or 6 digits. Some are 5, some are 6. But there's going to be 2 or 3 letters in front of your number. It's going to be like GB. That refers to a bank. Yeah, the 4-digit. The 3 letters. 2 or 3 letters might be HS, whatever, HSBC, whatever. It's always relating to a bank. But the numbers, you just need the numbers. And when you put the bond calculator on, I'll try and screenshot the actual calculator and explain it. It's very simple, but there's a couple of ways that it can go wrong, and then you've just got to change a couple of the parameters. I'll explain that after. I'll put that at the end. Yeah, but what I was going to say about the explanation that I find handy to explain it, because it happened to me and I can explain it easy, and it does make a lot of sense in that respect, is when I went to my mate's rubber plantation, I saw this, what I thought was a police cell, and he told me it's for tigers, right? And I looked at him, I was like, fucking hell, tigers round here, mush. And he was like, yeah. And then we heard a couple of roars, right, way in the distance. And I was like, fucking hell, he weren't making that up. So anyway, I said, well, head back, shall we, mate? So we went back to the rubber plantation because that was in a big square bit. It was about a 20-minute walk. We got back there and we're walking up and down the rubber because they cut the rubber like that in rows, but there's bushes either side, so you can only walk up and down like that. And he pointed over to the left, or his right. And because I heard a roar, and I'm like, fucking hell, that sounded close. And he's pointing and he's going, shh, look. And I'm like, wow, where, man? What? And I can hear this thing, and it don't sound that far away. It probably, I don't know, it's not next to us. It's a way away, yeah? But a lot closer than the other roar. And I'm looking, and I'm like, why that? And he started smiling, and he's pointing. He's going, look. And I'm like, where, mush? And I'm looking in the distance over there, and I'm like, I can't see it. Where? And then I look round, and he's on the floor fucking cracking up. He's wetting himself, man. And I'm like, turn around. I'm like, what? And I just looked, and right in front of me was the biggest fucking spider you've ever seen in your life. In Thailand, they've got these little tiny spiders. They're like your thumbnail. Smaller than your thumbnail sometimes. And they've got bright blue on each knuckle. Tiny little things, and they mince about in trees. Billions of them in one tree. And they're mad. They've got these bright blue knuckles and a yellow thing on the back. And they're cool. I don't like spiders. I fucking hate them. Anything bigger than your little finger now, I'm off. Anyway, I've turned round, and between these fucking 2 rubber plant trees that are like 10 metres spread apart, no shit, there's this fucking spider that I'm not joking. I was looking in the distance, but this fucking thing was here. And its leg span, I'm not making this up, it was this big, if not bigger. And I almost threw up. I almost passed out. I would have rather have been eaten by tigers than standing where I was standing. I couldn't see it. It was right in front of me, and I almost fainted when I saw it. Oh, fucking hell. I just went, and he was in bits because he knew I didn't like spiders. And man, my face is this close to the biggest spider I've ever seen. I've never even seen a fucking photo of a spider bigger than that. Ever. There isn't a spider bigger than that. This thing was fucking like this. And it's right, oh man. So I didn't appreciate that, but it's a good analogy because I couldn't see it. It's the biggest thing that I'm most scared of in my fucking life, and it was 2 inches off my nose. So close it could have kissed me if it wanted to. and I didn't even see it. I didn't see the web or nothing. And apparently they eat birds. That's why they set up there. I didn't know they could get that big. I'm like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I was gobsmacked, blown away when I saw how close. Oh, honestly, that's like the worst thing that can happen to me. Put me near a spider that size. It's the worst thing. I'd rather be on the Serengeti naked, covered in fucking ketchup and salad cream, walking around looking for fucking tigers than I would be standing next to that thing again. Honestly, I'd rather my chances of survival, even if it didn't move, I would just die. But that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. People are going to be gobsmacked at how close they were to all of this. They ain't going to be. They've been looking in the distance, or not looking. They're not even looking. They're just walking along up and down the rubber plantation, harvesting area. You know, they're not noticing nothing at all. And then all of a sudden, they find out that they were this close to imminent death every single time they've been reborn here since time started. All of these revelations are going to come in, and they're going to be like, fucking hell, wow, he was our school teacher when I was young. He taught me in PE. Didn't realise they were 33rd degree Masons sacrificing children on school property after school. That happened loads. Look at the Christchurch incidents. That whole, what's his name? That John Wedger. All that mental true, and they tried to whitewash that very, very unsuccessfully. I mean, the father's... the father of the two kids. If anyone hasn't seen that, you need to watch that. It's called The Christchurch Incident, and it happened in London, England. Or was it 97 or something like that? I can't remember. But it's been going on forever. Kafkasa police, social services, all heavily involved. Senior government officials, all heavily involved in a satanic paedophile ring that was held at the school and the church over the road. And even the fucking dinner ladies were involved in it. That's how deep it went. And famous people, all sorts. Proper cover-up, really blatant cover-up, a very poor quality cover-up that was very unsuccessful, and it might have been, I don't know how they fucked the cover-up up so badly, but the dad, the father of the two kids with his crocodile tears, I mean, it was just a joke. And the interviewer was all part of it as well. It was just obvious setup. But the whole thing is true and real, and that was going on. You don't get little children like that are able to tell you. This John Wedger was been Old Bill for 25 years, and he was trained in questioning people, and he's only got an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, so it's not that difficult. And he was trying to trip them up and get them to explain complicated things and then get them to do it again. Where was the baby that you said was hanging up that you had to cut its head off? Well, we went down the pantry and we hang a left, and then over by the kitchen thing, and you hang it up on the wall, and you cut the kids were so detailed and accurate, there's no way they were lining it up, and anyone with half a brain cell can see that that's true. And that is also part of the revelations of the apocalypse. It's all the same thing. It's all adrenochrome and child sacrifice. That's what holds everything together. Because to be a 33rd degree Mason or higher, you have to sacrifice a child on video. Before, it used to be like in the old days, the Illuminati, that was apparently probably a lot older, but it was created by Adam Weishaupt in 1642 when he created the Sacred Order of the Illuminated Seers of Bavaria. The Rothschilds, they wanted their own secret coven, and that then became known as the Illuminati. But the Illuminati is collectively all of the 13 bloodline families in the deep state as a whole, generally. But Adam Weishaupt, who was a French courtier, was asked, and Satanist, was asked to create this coven, and he did, basically. And they would get judges, you know, in the old days with the oil paintings, and in cartoons they even show you, like on Donald Duck and that years ago, you'd see the oil paintings with the eyes cut out. The reason that they had them oil paintings in castles and places like that with the eyes cut out was because there was passages in the back where they could then recruit. This was how people were recruited. They'd get you in, sleeping with a prostitute, with a child, with whatever, doing something illegal, and then whatever you've just been caught doing, the most illegal thing, whatever it is at that time when you live in that era, you've just got a judge and a magistrate and 2 policemen watch you do it. You're fucked now. But now they use video. So when time progressed, they started using video, and they film all the crimes so that they've got these people by the bollocks. You can, once you get involved in that, there isn't a way out. Only dying. That's the only way out. There isn't a way out. You can't get your soul back once you sold it. And you can't, you can't undo what you did. And they're all fucking proper wrong-uns. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. So yeah, basically that was it. I just wanted to say them things there, and nice one. I will catch you all later. Okay, take it easy. This will be, I think it's 4 parts, so I need to get a new video editing thing. Nice one. Take care, guys. Much love.